Joining me, former Director General of Police Vikram Singh. When you hear of these revelations that immigration center was opened in Mumbai, how there was a clear trusted agent of the Pakistan army and other supporters mainly working in the spy network, this is huge. How these men were able to not only manage recce, carry out the massacre and then leave India.
This is on very expected lines, Pooja. As was anticipated, there is incontrovertible evidence, both electronic, direct, and also the investigative agencies, both in India and abroad, have worked on Tahawwur Rana and David Coleman Headley very, very closely. It's a different matter that David Coleman Headley has not been able to extradite him, but the fact of the matter is putting the whole pieces of jigsaw puzzle together. Tahawwur Rana is eyeball deep involved in the Mumbai attack, and he was a cohort and a part of the ISI plan. He was a part of the ISI, and ISI planted him in the USA. Tahawwur Rana had a travel agency very much in Mumbai, and right underneath our nose, he managed to do what he did. Therefore, the investigation now have a task at hand. In fact, tasking and interrogating each and every person with whom he interacted, he spoke, he met, and that would include the several VIPs. I'm not going to name them because the matter is a sensitive matter and under investigation. But yes, every person who interacted with Tahawwur Rana, and the very fact that his confession would come in installments. He is a shrewd operator. He has been groomed by the ISI, a very hardcore terrorist and a part of the Hate India campaign. Therefore, I would say that this has come on very expected lines. And
why do you say, sir, that everyone that he interacted with, who he was in touch with, that means an Indian likely, a local in Mumbai, should also be questioned and interrogated?
Everybody, you see, he was not here for a holy purpose or for a legitimate purpose. His purpose was totally illegitimate. He was scouting for supports, aiders and abettors. And therefore, it is a past standard operating procedure of any investigation, whomsoever you may have met, whether a saint, a sinner, a criminal, or an absolutely upright person, politician, or film star. You understand what I'm hinting at? Therefore, every person needs to be interrogated thoroughly. What business did he? He did not meet you, he did not meet me, but if he met anyone else, well, he has some explaining to do.
Do we feel, sir, that we have failed politically as well? Men like these getting visas so easily, despite a clear connection to Pakistan nationalities as well, manage to come in and out of India and then are able to eventually leave India so easily, while hundreds of men, women, children have died, orphaned and left to grieve.
This is an tragic tragedy, and I would also apportion the blame to our agencies also. For a person who's so complicit, how did he manage to get away, and why did we allow in the first place to allow the grass to grow underneath our feet? We could have done much better as we are doing now, but that was one unmitigated disaster that was totally avoidable. I'm sorry to say that.
My final question here would be, sir, when we now get more clarity that there was clearly not only Tahawwur Rana associated with Pakistan Army, other agents as well, and it boggles my mind how easily one can set up an immigration center as a front office, as a cover-up, and then be able to do these recce and then leave the country. What is the biggest lesson that we are taking from this? We've managed to get him extradited. What is the next step our agencies can do?
You see, there's nothing that comes as a surprise or a thunderbolt or someone descending from the sky immediately. There's something known as suspicious activity reporting system as we have now. Any person who is indulging in these nefarious activities, these telltale signs, both electronic and physical, and they can easily be discerned. But when the investigating agencies choose to look the other way, that's a different story. Again, I would
how for the longest time, sir, you've been a DGP, for the longest time, someone like of this nature manages to do recce and then leave easily. Did it not catch anyone's attention? That also begs a question.
That, of course, is a very personal question. I'm happy you put this question, Pooja. I would say either carelessness or casualness of the worst kind, complicity of the worst kind, or both. I would say it is complicity of the worst kind and corruption at the highest level, and therefore he managed to get away. You could see
strong words, yes. Strong words, sir, from you. Go ahead, sir. Finish your point. Finish your point, sir.
Okay. I would say that it needs to be uncovered. There are people who were involved in his getaway and his escape, and therefore they also need to be exposed taken to task as per the amended law under the UAPA.
Appreciate you joining us, sir. Corruption, complicity may sound strong words, but questions we have to ask ourselves as well. Was it politics? Was it just not taking the issue of terror seriously, sponsored by Pakistan, to not think this could happen in Mumbai and let men like Tahawwur Rana, David Coleman Headley happily recce, know where innocent people can be murdered, and then leave the country like nothing happened? That's the big story on our screen.